The following is a presentation of RMG Sports, award-winning championship television.
Race fans, coming up on this week's Chase to the Checkered. It's C2C's special coverage of the ASA's Pennsylvania 300, presented by Jani King. Could local favorite Gary St. Amant make it to Jennerstown Speedway's victory lane? Or would points leader Joey Clanton take home the prize? So let's get rocking. We've got to beat the traffic. Chase to the Checkered starts now.
Hi, I'm Mike Miller from ASA. Race fans, start your engines!
Race fans, welcome back to Chase to the Checkered special coverage of the American Speed Association's Pennsylvania 300, presented by Jani King. Before we get started, here are some quick facts about the ASA to help you get to know this fantastic racing series. The ASA was formed in 1968 and currently holds 20 feature events at racing venues along the East Coast, the Midwest, and as far west as California. They started racing at Jennerstown Speedway in 1990 with a 400-lap feature. Since then, the ASA has visited the Laurel Highlands Oval 16 times and has become a summertime tradition in Jennerstown.
Amazingly enough for ASA, it has been around now for 35 years, going back to the first national event was actually sanctioned in 1972, won by no less than a guy like Darrell Waltrip. But the last 10 years have really been the modern era with our television package, with TNN. We've been very fortunate, and with our elevated purses and sponsorship and those kind of things. So the last 10 years of our series has been the bulk of our history at Jennerstown, and I think we've grown with this racetrack in that time period.
Last Saturday was practice and qualification day for the Pennsylvania 300, and the pits were buzzing with some of the nation's best short track drivers and their crews testing and tuning. This gave us an opportunity to catch up to some of the drivers while they fought for position on the starting grid. Let's meet some of them. Here's one of the ASA's top rookie drivers, Kyle Busch. Recognize the name? If you're into NASCAR, you should. This is Kurt Busch's younger brother. He's behind the wheel of the number 07 Roush Racing Ford Taurus.
I feel pretty pumped up about qualifying. It's a brand new car here we just brought out this week, brand new paint scheme and everything, so we're real excited. I'm doing pretty good. I guess we were third in the last two sessions, so things are looking up and optimistic for us, and we're just really looking forward to it.
Here's one of the most colorful personalities in all of motorsports, the road warrior, Bill Plemons Jr. He's the driver of the Hooters WJP Motorsports number 77 Chevy.
I like the absolute sport, and I've seen it come all the way in the early beginnings, I guess. When I was going with my dad, it was in the middle 50s, so I've seen, I guess you could say, NASCAR as well as ASA, and now the Hooters Cup come a long ways. But it's an interesting sport, it's a fun sport, and I truly enjoy racing the cars, being around the camaraderie. And I was telling them the other day, I said, back when we raced dirt and raced short tracks, I said, when we got aggravated with somebody, we just jumped on them, went to fighting. Of course, you can't do that anymore. You're on national TV, and you got to be such and such a way.
Now, here's the local favorite in the number 7 AC Delco Chevy, Gary St. Amant. The Columbus, Ohio native has raced here at Jennerstown Speedway for many years, so he knows a few things about the Laurel Highlands Oval.
We go to a lot of racetracks, and if a guy's got it dialed in, he's going to lead most of the race and he's going to win. Here at Jennerstown, I don't ever remember that happening. It always seems like, there's somebody that's going to lead at the beginning and they're not going to be leading at the end. There's going to be a lot of changes made. Like today we have cloudy conditions. If it's just like this tomorrow, maybe everybody's guessed right, but the sun comes out and that's going to throw everybody a knuckleball for tomorrow.
But Saturday wasn't about shooting the breeze with us. It was about qualifying for the Pennsylvania 300. Let's take a moment to meet the top 5 qualifiers. Qualifying 5th in the number 21 Great Clips Chevrolet is Elko, Minnesota's Dan Fredrickson.
Well, we're pretty happy. Anytime we can get in the top 5 in time trials, that's kind of the goal. These cars are kind of hard to pass, so it's important to start up front. So we'll start 5th tomorrow, which is good. I wanted to start on the inside.
Following Fredrickson, in the 4th starting position is another Columbus, Ohio driver. Robbie Pyle drives the number 63 Citgo Chevrolet.
I think we'll be a lot better shape tomorrow than we even were today. We haven't been qualifying real strong this year. We did have a couple poles, but I think we lucked into those. But had a real good race car on long runs, and kind of excited. Been here a few times, so we'll see what the Citgo car does.
Next in the 2nd row is the 3rd place car of number 17, Mike Garvey, in the W.J. Plemons Investments Chevrolet.
I think we'll have a real good car for the race. The WJP Motorsports Chevy Monte Carlo ran good. We've been good all day long, ran good times in practice, so old tires. So we're looking forward to tomorrow's race. I think we'll have a really good race. It's the last 5 or 6 races in ASA has been real tough, real competitive, a lot of passing going on, and I think you'll see that again tomorrow.
On the outside of row 1 is the number 83 Campfire USA Chevrolet of Stockbridge, Georgia's Joey Clanton. The current points leader knows he has his work cut out for him.
We'll just try to take the best out of what we got and get a good run on it. And we need the points to get back up front and put a little lead on the guys behind us who are kind of struggling in points and struggling out here on the racetrack at Jennerstown. And we'll just try to make the best of it.
And finally, on the pole, it's the number 04 ASI Limited Chevrolet of Butch Miller. His qualifying speed of 98.156 miles per hour puts him in front of the pack. It also puts him in the record book. The Coopersville, Michigan driver earned his 41st career pole position, which tied Dick Trickle's 2nd place record in the ASA.
I go out there to qualify and it gets so intense I don't even know what the car does. So I'm eager to get back to that checkered flag for the finish of that qualifying lap, and I don't care whether it's for a record or not a record. I came in after our last practice and I said, we've got an excellent, excellent race car. I don't know how good it's going to qualify. I don't expect much out of it, but we had run some pretty stout times on some old tires. And it seemed like the longer we ran that car, the better it got. Now, that's as good as the car's felt this year, and we've won a couple races with it. So, I'm really hoping for the best. Now, most of the time when I think something's really, really good, I get big surprises when it comes to be race time. So, we'll see.
Here's a review of the qualifying field for the ASA Pennsylvania 300, presented by Jani King. Gary St. Amant qualified 11th, and he will be starting on the inside of row 6. Rookie Kyle Busch qualified 14th. The road warrior Bill Plemons Jr. will start on the inside of row 13 in 25th place. The cars are dialed in. The drivers are ready. The field is set. It's time to race. We'll drop the green flag on the Pennsylvania 300 presented by Jani King when we come back to the special coverage of the American Speed Association on Chase to the Checkered right after this. Welcome back to Chase to the Checkered special coverage of the American Speed Association's Pennsylvania 300, presented by Jani King. Every time the ASA comes to Jennerstown Speedway, it is truly an event to see. Fans come from all around to experience everything the ASA brings with them. Sponsors like BF Goodrich were on hand handing out posters and greeting fans to the Laurel Highlands Oval. The band High Maintenance came in from Pittsburgh to fill the air with rock and roll. Fans could also get their picture taken next to a replica Richard Petty stock car. Plus, the racing action wasn't reserved just for fans at Jennerstown Speedway. Crews from TNN were on hand getting ready to telecast the race live to millions of fans across the country. Then, in true ASA style, fans were allowed down onto the track to meet their favorite drivers, get an autograph, a photo, or just an up-close view of the cars. You knew it was almost time to race. The road warrior Bill Plemons Jr. had his war paint on. We heard enough from the guys at the front. What about the last place qualifier? Here's Evansville, Indiana's Chris Cole, who will start at the back of the pack in the race.
Didn't get a whole lot of practice, so I kind of might need to make a few adjustments. Yesterday it was all overcast, not real hot, so the car's basically set up for that. Sun's trying to peek out today, get it a little bit warmer. Track might grease up like you said. Might need to make a few adjustments, but we're struggling today, so to see how it goes.
After the fans had their fill, it was time for pre-race festivities. The drivers were introduced and climbed into their cars. Then we welcomed H.D. Melton from Jani King of Pittsburgh for the most famous words in all of motorsports.
Gentlemen, on behalf of Jani King International and the local Jani King Pittsburgh office and franchisees, start your engine.
Jennerstown Speedway's Brooks Automotive Group pace car joined the ASA pace cars in leading the pack on their warm-up laps. Local favorite Gary St. Amant needed some help getting started. Is this a sign of things to come? St. Amant would eventually get his car fired and join the pack. Moments later, the ASA's pace car would shoot into the pits. At the drop of the green, the drivers would drop the throttle, and the Pennsylvania 300 was underway. Number 83, Joey Clanton, ran the outside groove with the pole sitter, number 04, Butch Miller, right beside him. 83 and 04 would rub fenders coming out of turn 4 on the first lap. Remember that turn, folks. It will be the scene of some wild stuff later in the race. While the leaders pull away, the rest of the pack goes door to door for position. After a caution on lap 11 for fluid on the track, Joey Clanton would again shoot out with the lead. By lap 26, Mike Garvey had worked his way to the inside of the second place Butch Miller in the 04. Just when it looked like he might squeeze by, a caution would stop his assault. Number 60, Ed Brown, was resting against the inside retaining wall in the back stretch. Brown's race was over. On the restart, 83 Clanton would reassume his lead. The caution would fly again on lap 54 as number 86 Jason Boyd was turned around on the back stretch. He would come into the pits and get 2 fresh right tires and rejoin the race. After the restart, turn 2 would almost claim number 4 Chris Cole, but he kept it together. Soon, number 17 Mike Garvey got under and around number 04 Butch Miller and took second place position away from the pole sitter. Later, as the 04 got closer to the 17, the caution would fly again. On lap 86, number 44 Peter Cozzolino and Bill Plemons Jr. tangled in turn 4 after the 2 spun. The Road Warriors' day was over. When the pits opened up, the pack came in, some a little faster than others. The restart saw the number 06 of Davin Seitz with the lead. But number 83, Joey Clanton, was close behind. Here on lap 96, Clanton would get by the 06 and retake the lead. While Clanton leapt ahead of the field, the other front runners were letting Seitz hang in the breeze. After the number 1 car of Kevin Sawinski passes, number 11 David Stremme gets by the 06. Next, it was number 17 Mike Garvey working his way to the front. Then number 63 Robbie Pyle got by for 5th, with number 7 Gary St. Amant close behind. All the while, Joey Clanton was enjoying a comfortable lead over the second place number 1 car of Kevin Sawinski. But it would all be for naught as number 82, Jeff Emery, rode the wall through turns 3 and 4, bringing out the caution on lap 113. Clanton would again take the lead on the restart, with number 1, Kevin Sawinski, in second place. Gary St. Amant and number 06, David Seitz, were in a hot battle for fourth. Number 7 would take the position a lap later. But 7 laps later, Kyle Busch tapped a slowing Jason Boyd and sent him spinning into the stock number 4 car of Chris Cole. As you'll see on the replay, Cole had spun and was sitting in the middle of the backstretch. When Boyd slowed up, Busch didn't and tapped him into Cole. As the leaders come into pit, we will too, but don't go anywhere. We're only about halfway through the race. Coming up on Chase to the Checkered, we've got the rest of the highlights from the ASA's Pennsylvania 300, presented by Jani King, right after these messages. Welcome back to C2C's special coverage of the ASA's Pennsylvania 300, presented by Jani King. Before the break, we left the field under caution because of a spin by number 4, Chris Cole, and the following crunch by number 86, Jason Boyd. The leaders came into pit. On the restart, the crowd was thrilled to see the number 7 car of Gary St. Amant in the lead, followed by number 29, Reed Sorensen. Here's number 33, Greg Stewart, passing number 06, David Seitz, for third. Seitz would get loose in 3, and number 63, Robbie Pyle, would sneak by for fourth. We move ahead in the race to see number 83, Joey Clanton, pass number 29, Reed Sorensen, for fourth. Number 1, Kevin Sawinski, and number 04, Butch Miller, follow him by for position. On lap 181, Clanton gets alongside and past number 33, Greg Stewart, for third. Again, Sawinski and Miller follow suit. By lap 210, number 04, Butch Miller, had worked past Sawinski and was with number 83, Joey Clanton, as he took the lead back from number 7, Gary St. Amant. 5 laps later, the number 04 was challenging 83 for the lead. But lap traffic would make for a hairy situation, and Miller would have to back off. The next lap, Miller would get by, but the backstretch again claimed number 86, Jason Boyd, and the pack would slow under caution. The leaders would pit, and an excellent pit stop enabled Clanton to get out before the number 04. The restart on lap 236 saw number 0, David Hull, in the lead. But Clanton would end his brief run with a tap in turn 4, spinning the 0 around. This did not make Clanton many friends in the stands. Clanton had the lead on the restart, with number 1, Kevin Sawinski, in second. On lap 270, fate would have its revenge on Clanton, as Sawinski tapped the number 83, spinning him before a cheering crowd. On the restart, the pole sitter number 04, Butch Miller, had the lead, with rookie number 11, David Stremme, in second. The battle for third heated up too. Here, number 1, Kevin Sawinski, tapped number 07, Kyle Busch, and he and number 7, Gary St. Amant, slid by. With 3 laps to go, St. Amant pulls alongside of Sawinski and passes him for the third spot. But the day belonged to the ASI Limited, S&S Racing Chevrolet, of number 04, Butch Miller, as he went on to win the ASA's Pennsylvania 300, presented by Jani King.
Well, we had a really good car, and the car was especially good on long greens, and wouldn't fire right off. And we learned a little bit in the pits, and we made some adjustments to the car, and it kept getting better and better as the race went on.
Miller's win was his 46th career victory in the ASA. He went from the pole to victory lane at Jennerstown Speedway. He was followed by number 11, rookie David Stremme in second. Local favorite Gary St. Amant finished in third after a hard-fought battle.
Every year we come here to Jennerstown, we have a car that can win a race, and we get down inside 50 laps to go, and something always happens to us. Jennerstown 2003, that's Gary St. Amant's.
Kevin Sawinski, who started 12th, finished in the 4th position. Joey Clanton, who started on the outside of row 1 and led most of the race, finished a disappointing 10th place after the spin in lap 270. NASCAR legend and TNN Motorsports announcer Buddy Baker wrapped everything up for us.
Absolutely. One thing about ASA, you hardly ever see a bad race, and we had everything happen today that could happen. Joey Clanton looked like he had the car to beat. Got caught up in some traffic. He and Kevin Sawinski got together. Butch Miller, the old pro, just sat there, let everybody bang, push, do what they had to do. Then he moved up there and took the lead. Great race all the way through.
Thanks, buddy. And a special thanks to everyone with the ASA that made the Pennsylvania 300 a simply fantastic race. Coming up next week on Chase to the Checkered, the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series returns to Jennerstown Speedway. I'm Bubba Connor from 96.5 The Mountain. We'll see you next week with the highlights on Chase to the Checkered.